I stood on the deck and heaved a sigh of relief. I'd been traveling for 3 days on 4 planes and 10 hours on the ferry, but I was about to arrive. I was really excited and enjoying the fresh air of the ocean, the sunshine. I could see the land coming, and the closer we got, I could see the rocky, rugged shoreline and the land beyond. That's when I felt it, this primal, ancient wildness. I froze. I was terrified. I was about to land in Tasmania. What was I thinking? They say life's most profound journeys start with a leap of faith. What they don't tell you is how frightening it can be. Have any of you ever taken a leap to some place unknown and then wondered if you were crazy? It can be scary, but the payoff sometimes is worth it. Now, I can see some of you are in your head looking at a map trying to figure out where Tasmania is. Is that true? Come on, be honest. I know most of you would have heard of it because you've seen the cartoons with the Tassie Devil spinning around like a tornado. Well, he's real and he's from a real place. Tasmania is part of Australia. It's an island state full of wilderness and wildlife, not so many people. And we think of Australia as being down under, but Tasmania is way down under. It's below Australia on the way to Antarctica, near the bottom of the world. Now, I have a confession to make, and it's a little bit difficult for me because I consider myself to be a logical, sane person. But I'm going to have to tell you sooner or later. I was called to Tasmania. I was called by the ancient ones. If I had known that ahead of time, I probably wouldn't have gone. And that leap that I took physically to go to the bottom of the world, that was nothing compared to the leap I needed to take inside to deal with the things that were happening to me and unfolding for me. I'm Sue Cimino, author of Ancient Ones Are Calling Us. Learning to Listen Changed My Life, and boy did it. It's my story of this amazing and sometimes terrifying journey, but it's also about you and how you're being called. Now, I'm going to go back to the ancient ones. They're a consciousness that's involved with creation, and they've been whispering to all of us, all of humanity, for eons, trying to help us evolve into what we're yet to become. During this journey, they gave me a process, the Wholeness alignment process, that's designed to help each one of us move in that direction. And they continue to work with me as I share this with groups, individuals, peoples, whatever. Now, you're probably wondering what possessed me to take this journey, yeah? At the time, I was an accountant working in a cubicle. I was recovering from a 4-year illness. My credit cards were maxed. I was living in an RV, and life wasn't working. Have any of you ever felt that way? Like something's wrong? Like there must be something better than this? One morning, I was so frustrated. I just screamed at the universe, I give up. What am I here for? Well, you know what they say, be careful what you ask for? The next time I saw my trusted psychic friend, she gave me a message that I needed to go to Tasmania for 5 months. My cards were maxed. I couldn't afford to go anywhere for a week, much less for 5 months. And to Tasmania? What's a responsible accountant supposed to do? To make matters worse, she told me that if I didn't go to Tasmania, I wouldn't be able to find my life's purpose. I had been searching for my purpose for 20 years. How could I not go? I'm curious, if you were told to go to the other side of the world, drop everything to find your destiny, who would go? I see some people shaking their head, no. But the rest of the ones that with your hands up, you understand. And you know what I did, I went. I didn't know how I was going to afford it. I didn't really know why I was going, and I certainly didn't know who was calling me, or I probably wouldn't have gotten there. People are often commenting on my courage, but it didn't take courage. I just looked at my nothing's working life, and I looked at the possibility to get back on track. Even though it looked crazy to go, it looked even crazier to stay where I was. So I quit my job, I cashed in my vacation, and I gave away my sweet kitty to a good home. I was scared, but I was more intrigued because I could feel something pulling me, calling me. When I would have doubts, I would get sign after sign that was telling me I was on the right path. All kinds, but I'm going to tell you my favorite, the mother of all signs. It came 2 days after I had asked very clearly for a message, was I meant to go? And I don't usually watch Oprah, so strangely I found myself turning on the television, and there's Oprah, and she's reading from a piece of paper, and she says, Tasmania. Hello, Tasmania! I'm like, oh my God, okay, I'm going. Now, I'm not telling you about this journey to Tasmania to tell you the story. You can read that in the book. What I want to share is what happened because I took this leap. I was given 2 amazing gifts that profoundly changed my life. The first gift was something I probably wouldn't have asked for, and I probably didn't really want. It was my connection with the ancient ones. And it's difficult to describe how a logical mind makes that shift in perception or awareness. At first, it was really subtle. I couldn't hear them, I couldn't see them, and I was a little bit shocked when I started to be aware of them, and then I could feel them, and they felt immense and primal, yet kind of sparkly and gentle. I would feel like I was in the presence of a deep, sacred stillness. They would whisper to me, and then they would plant seeds of information. Later, out of the blue, thoughts would drop in my head about things I wasn't thinking about. It took me a while to figure out what was going on until something happened that absolutely convinced me. One night, I was writing in my journal about my journey, and nothing special, blah, blah, blah. In the morning, I looked at what I'd written, and the last 12 pages didn't come from me. It was in my handwriting, and it had thoughts, it had things I knew, but it was interwoven with ideas and concepts that I didn't know or had never considered. It explained the complexities of creation and how and why we're evolving, and also how much help we're being given as humans to move to our next level. It also describes certain issues in our makeup that are keeping us from being able to move forward, and how important it is that we correct these. They absolutely stressed it's possible to correct these, but we need to correct these in order to improve our health and the health of the planet. That 12 pages gave me more hope for our future, for humanity and for the planet. This is why they called me to Tasmania. And this is why they're calling you. The second gift started to unfold when I discovered I had Lyme disease. In the midst of all this mystical connection, my brain started to malfunction. I couldn't think, I couldn't type, I couldn't remember words. I was way too young for dementia. I knew how devastating Lyme disease could be, and so I was terrified. But something amazing happened. These whispers, these thoughts, all of a sudden came together in the wholeness alignment process. It happened while I was working with a friend who also had Lyme disease. and the results were shocking. Now you have to remember, I'm a skeptic. I was an auditor. I needed proof. Fortunately, I had been trained with an expensive bioresonance machine that can pinpoint what's causing problems in the body. And so I tested my friend before and after that we did the process, and I could not believe the results. But I couldn't argue with the machine. The test showed no sign of Lyme disease. Within days, her symptoms started to fade away. That made what was unbelievable undeniable. Of course, I immediately went and did it with myself, and I've done so with many more people since then, all with the same results. That's when I realized this wholeness alignment process is incredibly powerful and deeply healing. The more I would work with people and share this process, I began to understand that it was an energetic prescription for wholeness. What do I mean by wholeness? By definition, wholeness is a state of being complete and harmonious whole. Unbroken, undamaged. You're in alignment with your highest self and your true purpose. In contrast, when you're not whole, you feel like something's missing or that you're lost, broken. You feel like you're being blocked from moving forward, or that you're working against yourself, because you are. The ancient ones really wanted me to understand wholeness is your natural state. You have the capacity to heal fully and to be truly aligned with your purpose. It was my clients who started giving me feedback on this process that really surprised me and encouraged me to keep moving forward, to go deeper and do more. My clients were healing from chronic illness and pain, but they were also reporting changes in their lives in other areas. They would feel lighter and clearer. Their relationships got better. They wouldn't be triggered anymore by old emotional baggage, and they were finding their purpose and moving forward with greater ease. I had to admit their results were real and lasting, and that wholeness was available for everyone. Just so you know, I never went back to my cubicle. I'm not in debt. I don't do accounting. I don't live in an RV. My health is better than it's been in my entire life. I never get sick. And I am so happy because I've been given these gifts to share with others. If I had listened to the fear and tried to stay small, if I had been worried that I would look like a fruitcake, I would never have found the things that are most important to me, my purpose and my wholeness. What happened for me in Tasmania, I never saw it coming. And yet when I look back, I can see I was being trained for this my entire life. So now let's talk about you and the questions you want to be asking yourself. What is it that you're being trained for? What is the call that you're not listening to? Are you playing it safe? Are you happy playing it safe? The answers to these questions are worth looking for and then really considering, what do you want to experience in your life? I know it can be difficult to see beyond the patterns, the ruts, the comfort zones that you get stuck in. And sometimes it's even harder to believe that that amazing life that is calling you is really possible. I told you before, the ancient ones are calling you. They want you to experience your life at a whole new level, to share your gifts and to express your full potential. They want you to open the door so that you can experience your own wholeness. How do you do that? I'm so glad you asked. First, recognize that wholeness is possible. It's available to you. And ask for it in your prayers, in your meditations, in your quiet moments. Doing so will open that door. Second, decide that you want to align with your highest self and your highest purpose, even if you don't know what it is. When you do this, helpful things start showing up that you could never plan, control, or even imagine. Third, start to listen. And I'm going to guess that there are many of you who don't consider yourself to be intuitive. And so you push away or disregard those quiet little messages and whispers from your soul. I understand, because that's where I was. But I want to assure you that those flash insights, those niggly feelings, those gut instincts, and the synchronicities and signs all around you, they're valid, and they're guiding you and helping you to move forward into your destiny. And last, when you feel the call, take a leap of faith. It doesn't have to be a big leap. You don't have to go to the other side of the world. You can take a small leap, a baby leap. And don't worry, because once you choose alignment and wholeness, the universe has your back and only wants to support you and help you. If you miss a call, it will keep coming again. If you start heading the wrong direction, you'll be either blocked from going that way or gently redirected. The important thing to remember on the other side of a leap of faith could be something magnificent, something you've searched your whole life for, something that would profoundly change your life. And the only way you'll know this is if you start taking those leaps of faith, big or baby. A leap of any size can be profound.